Shalom, welcome to another video, and as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachwadash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of what the people hear or whether they forbear. All right, so this is going to be a back to the basics on what is the gospel, and this is sparked off of a comment that I received on my comment board from a Christian on a video that I did a couple days ago, going into the anti-Christian that was quote unquote exposing the black Hebrew Israelites. All right, he said that we don't teach the gospel. He said, what does all this stuff have to do with the gospel? Okay, and I told him, you don't know the gospel. So whenever a Christian comes up and tells you about their so-called gospel, their gospel is not according to the scriptures. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you in this video, all right, what the gospel is out of Yahweh Shai's mouth, all right, and also Apostle Paul's mouth as well. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. And Yahweh Righteous Amin and Heavenly Father's will is edifying to the elect. All right, so I'm going to start off here in Luke, the 4th chapter, and you see this is entitled Yahweh Shai's public ministry. All right, starting at verse 14, it says, and Yahweh Shai returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region round about. And he taught in their synagogues, being glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Esaias. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, the Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, and to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of the sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of Yahweh. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down, and the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. Okay, so he preached the gospel to them, according to Luke 4:18. Now, if you want to know where he was reading from, because it said he was reading out of the prophet Esaias, all right, this is where the gospel, or what it's based off of, Isaiah 61. All right, so we're going to go there, and we're going to read the whole chapter to get the fullness of it. All right, this is Isaiah 61. I'm going to start from the top, and it's entitled, The Exaltation of the Afflicted. Okay, it says, the Spirit of Yahweh power is upon me, because Yahweh hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh, the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. Okay, so when he comes to deliver the afflicted, all right, he's going to also execute vengeance. This is a part of the gospel as well. All right, that's one thing he said. He said, you're talking about vengeance against your enemies, recompense, but what about the gospel? Well, this is part of the gospel. All right, according to what Yahweh Shai was reading in Luke, the 4th chapter, verse 3, it says, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he might be glorified. And they shall build the old wastes, and they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, and the desolations of many generations. So this is going into after the destruction. Okay, the earth is going to be rebuilt. But notice it said in verse 3, all right, that he's going to point unto them that mourn in Zion. Okay, so this gospel is for Zion, okay, which Zion is a remnant of Jacob. Let's go into that word. Okay, the Hebrew word for Zion is Tazayawan, Strong's H6726. All right, and it says a mountain of Jerusalem, Zion. All right, you see it says another name for Jerusalem, especially in the prophetic books. Okay, so he's going to give Jerusalem, all right, which is the people before us, a place. He's going to give them the oil of joy for mourning. Okay, skipping back down where we left off at, Isaiah 61:5, and the strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. Okay, the non-Israelites. All right, it says, but ye shall be named the priests of Yahweh. Men shall call you the ministers of our God. and ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourself. This is part of the gospel. For your shame ye shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double, everlasting joy shall be unto them. This is the gospel. For I, Yahweh, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering, and I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them, with Jerusalem. Okay, people before it took place, the children of Israel. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahweh hath blessed. Once again, the Israelites. This is the gospel. And I will greatly rejoice in Yahweh. My soul shall be joyful in my power. For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. And once again, who is the bridegroom? Yahweh, through his son Yahushai. Okay, and the bride is the daughter of Zion, the Israelites. It doesn't have anything to do with the other nations. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causeth the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so Yahweh will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations. Okay, so, excuse me. This shows you, okay, that all these things that we talk about in the gospel are for Zion. And the other nations, as we always tell you, they're going to go into captivity. They're going to be out there working in the fields, okay? And that's the gospel that the Messiah quoted in Luke, the 4th chapter. And Apostle Paul tells you as well, okay, one of my favorite precepts out of all the writings of Apostle Paul, he tells you that the gospel he preaches is based off the prophecies. Okay, this is Romans 16 and 24. The grace of our Adawan, Yahushua HaMashiach, be with you all. Amen. Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel, and the preaching of Yahushua HaMashiach, according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began. So the gospel, all right, is the preaching of Yahushua, what he's coming to do, all right, what he did for us already, according to the revealing of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began, but now is made manifest and by the scriptures of the prophets. So it's now been revealed by the scriptures of the prophets. That's Isaiah through Malachi. So if you say you're teaching the gospel and you're not going into prophecy, you're teaching a different gospel than what Yahushua was teaching. And Apostle Paul, according to the commandment of the everlasting power made known to all nations for the obedience of faith. Okay, so that's it. All right. So that's the gospel. The gospel was based off of the prophecies in its purest form, Isaiah the 61st chapter, but you can also get any other prophetic chapter that pertains to the end time salvation of the Israelites. All right, also the different promises that are going to be given unto them that all the prophets witnessed. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Want to short back to the basics. If a Christian tells you and they ask you what the gospel is, okay, you can read starting off with Luke 4, around about verse 14. The point is in 17 and 18. All right, and then you can go to Isaiah 61 and bring that out. That's the gospel in its purest form. All right, according to what the Messiah taught. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and end it off there. All right, Yahweh Righteous, I mean, Heavenly Father's will was edifying. As always, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachodash. And until next time, Shalom, and abide babal.